Hello, second grade. We're gonna get started on our math lesson for today. And today we actually have our milestone task. So I'm gonna go over the materials that you will need for this lesson today. First, you need your milestone task printout. If you do not have a printer at home, it is okay to look at the screen with the questions on it and write them on a piece of paper. It's totally okay if you don't have a printer and it's easier for you to do it that way. Even if you do have a printer, if you prefer to do it that way, it's absolutely fine. You're also going to need a pencil, and you're going to need access to your digital geoboards, as well as access to the anchor charts from this unit. All right, this is our first official milestone task that you are doing from home, so I want to go over some of the expectations. First, I'm going to talk to the students. My students, Ms. Chadwick's students, and Ms. Wan's students, make sure that you're listening closely. Before you get started, make sure that you have all of the necessary materials. Remember that during this time you can use your anchor charts, and remember to draw shapes to help you. If you have a question about one of the problems, you can ask a question to an adult or maybe an older sibling. They cannot help you with the math, but they can clarify the questions for you. So that leads me into my guidelines for parents or family members, siblings who might be helping out with their second grade friends. So parents, you can absolutely read the questions to your child. I am going to read the whole assessment on video for you right now. But if your child would prefer to have you read the questions to them and you're comfortable doing that, you can do that. You can also explain the questions. If they're confused about a part of the question, not necessarily how to show the math or do the math, but how the question is phrased, it's okay to reword the question and explain it to them in a way that they'll better understand. It's also really valuable for helpers to remind them of the resources they have access to. In this lesson, I've linked the anchor charts that we've used throughout this unit, and I think that they could be really helpful if used properly. So if you have a student who is stuck, remind them of the resources that they have access to. You can't point them in the direction of which resource to use. That's part of them showing what they know, but you can tell them that they have access to those resources. So again, during this time, it's important that you're not helping them with the math, but that you're guiding them with understanding the questions and reminding them of their resources. The last thing that I want to tell both students and their families is that uploading is imperative to this task. So I know that there are multiple pages. There are 4 pages, and we really do need you to upload all of them so that we can check in and see where your understanding is at. There are 4 pages, and we need to see all 4 uploaded onto Google Classroom. So when you go to mark the assignment as done, you're going to add an attachment with 4 pictures of the tasks. It's really important that you do that, so please don't forget. We'll be sending out reminders for those of you who do forget. All right, let's get started. All right, boys and girls, I'm going to read each of the questions to you over the document camera. I would like for you to all listen to this read aloud of the questions, just because I do give some clarification for what we're looking for, and I help guide you in the right direction. It's just a couple of minutes, and after you listen to it, you can choose to work on the tasks independently, or you can choose to listen to it again and work through the problems as I read them to you. So go ahead and listen up and get started. All right, boys and girls, our milestone assessment is called Working with Figures. Number 1, draw each of the following shapes and explain how you know it is that shape. So what you're going to do here is you're going to draw the shape. This one says triangle. And you're going to tell me, I know it is a triangle because, and then you're going to tell me how you know. You're going to repeat this process with quadrilateral. I know it's a quadrilateral because, like, hexagon. I know it's a hexagon because, and cube. I know it's a cube because. You're going to tell me how you know. Number 2. Number 2 says, look at this rectangle. So we're looking at this rectangle right here on the paper. This question says, how many rows does it have? So you're going to count up how many rows it has. This one says, how many columns does it have? So you're going to tell me how many columns it has. This one says, how many squares all together? Show how you know. So down here, the expectation is that you will show your work. You won't just write your answers. You'll show how you know that those answers are correct. You can also mark it up on this picture here. You don't necessarily have to use this space down here. Number 3. Pablo and Manny bought a chocolate cake to share equally. Draw lines to show how they can share the cake equally. So Pablo and Manny bought the cake and they're sharing it equally. And we want you to draw lines that show how they would share it equally. It says, shade the part that Pablo will eat. Shade the part that Pablo will eat. So that means that you're going to take your pencil and you're going to color in the side that Pablo would eat. How much of the cake is shaded? Think about the language that we learned in this unit and use your anchor charts to help you. How much of the cake is shaded? Number 4. Pablo and Manny's friend Juan loves chocolate cake too. Draw lines to divide the cake into 3 equal pieces. Pablo and Manny's friend Juan loves chocolate cake too. Draw lines to divide the cake into 3 equal pieces. So now you're dividing this circle, which represents the cake, into 3 pieces. Shade the part that Juan will eat. How much of the cake is shaded? So again, think about some of the vocabulary we learned and answer this question with a word. Number 5. Now Juan's friend Diego has come too. How can the 4 of them share the cake equally? Draw lines to divide the cake into 4 equal pieces. So you're going to draw the lines again right here, this time dividing it into 4 equal pieces. Shade the part that Diego will eat. So remember, Diego is our 4th friend, so shade the part that he will eat. How much of the cake is shaded? Again, think about the vocabulary we learned so far and answer this one using a word. Number 6 says, circle each sandwich that is equally partitioned into fourths. Circle each sandwich that is equally partitioned into fourths. So these little squares all represent sandwiches. So you're circling the ones that are equally partitioned into fourths. So you'll just circle whichever ones you think. And then down here it says, explain how you know the sandwiches are partitioned into fourths. Explain how you know that the sandwiches are partitioned into fourths. That means that they're equal. All right, boys and girls, that's the last page of our milestone assessment. You can always go back, re-listen to these questions so that you can make sure that you understand them. Have a great day. Bye. Just one more reminder that each of the 4 pages of this milestone assessment need to be uploaded. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 pages. You need to take a picture of each page or scan it and get each of those 4 pages uploaded. Not just one example, I need to see all 4. It's really important that you upload for this assignment so that your teachers can see where you're at. If you forget, we will be sending out reminders and making sure that it gets submitted. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.